Okay, today we're starting chapter 8, and so 8 is going to be solving systems of equations, and there's 3 ways you can solve them. You can solve them by graphing, you can solve them by substitution, or you can solve them by elimination. So we're going to learn all 3 parts, and so today we're going to look at just solving by graphing. Now, I did just do a quick little chart here. Your quiz will have actual graph paper on there, and so it's much easier to do these with graph paper. So if you have some, you might want to use it, but if not, you can make it work. So I'm going to make it work today too, because I couldn't get into school to get my graph paper and supplies. So we're just doing the best we can. And so what you have is 2 equations and you have 2 unknowns. So you're going to be solving, you want to find where do these 2 lines intersect. So it's like this is one line and this is the other line. So let's look at line 1 first. So you don't really have to rewrite them, but if we look at 2x plus 2y equals 8, and we need to graph that, this one's not solved for y, so this is one of those that's easier to graph by x and y intercepts. So remember, when x is 0, you cover up the x value and solve for y. So 8 divided by 2 is 4. Then when y equals 0, you cover up the y value and you say 8 divided by 2 is 4. So we have the point 0, 4, or do you see that's on the y-axis, 0, 4. And we have the point 4, 0, whoops, which is going to be over here. And 2 points make a line. Now you want to try to graph these. If you don't have graph paper, try to be as straight a line as possible because you do want them to intersect here. So we graphed the first line. Now let's graph the second line. Let me get a different color pen. Let's do the second one in green. Well, to graph this one, it's already in slope-intercept form. So this is my y-intercept and this is my slope. It doesn't have a number there, so the number's 1, and you need it to be a fraction, so it would be 1 over 1. So for this one, you would go to 4 on the y-axis, and then for your slope, you would go up 1 and over 1. I didn't draw my graph big enough, did I? And so there's where your second line would be. So where they intersect is your answer. So they intersect at this point 0, 4, and so that is your answer. So you draw the 2 lines and where they intersect is your answer. Let's try another one. So let's do this one. So again, let's do the first one in red. And so this one, this one's ready to graph. It's already solved for y, so our y-intercept is 4. And our slope is a negative 2/3. So I go down 2, over 1, 2, 3. 2 points make a line. So there's my first line. Then for the second line, we'll do it in green. It's not solved for y, so the easiest way to do it is with x and y intercepts. So when x is 0, you cover up your x. So 12 divided by 3 is 4. When y is 0, you cover up your y. And so do you see you have left 12 divided by 2 is 6. So here I have the point 0, 4. So same point there. And then 6, 0, which is right here. So when you draw this one, it's the same exact line. They lay on top of each other. So they're either going to intersect at one point, which is your answer. It only has that one little point that they have in common. But you see, this one has everything in common. So this actually has everything from negative infinity to positive infinity in common. And so we call this one all real numbers. Every single number in the world will work for that one. Let's look at this next one. Again, the first one's one I will do in red. It's already ready to go. It's already solved for y, so I'm going to go to positive 2 and draw my point. My slope is 1/3, so I rise 1 and run 3. And so 2 points make a line. So there's our line. Then let's do this second one in green. This one's not solved for y, so I'm going to do my xy chart. And so when x is 0, cover up your x. And you see you have negative 3 divided by negative 3 is positive 1. And then when y equals 0, cover up your y, and that one's easy. X just equals negative 3. So I have the point 0, 1, or 1 on the y-axis, and the point -3, 0, or -3 on the x-axis. So do you see when you draw this one? Again, it's sketching, so it's not perfect, but these are parallel lines. They're never going to intersect, so no matter how far they keep going, they're never going to intersect, so there's no solution. So the answer for this one is that 0 with a line through it. Okay, so I do want to do one more example because that last one didn't work out very well, but or this first one didn't, because it was pretty easy to tell where that one intersected. Remember, if it's the exact same line, it's all real numbers, and if it's parallel lines, it's no solution. But let's look at one that's not quite so easy. So actually, I just pulled the first one off of your practice problem. So this is the first one you have to do yourself. We'll just do it together. I just wanted to do one that's a little bit more difficult. Whoops, let me do my chart real quick. And again, when you're doing these, if you're doing these freehand, try your best, didn't do very good myself right there, to make these equally spaced. Okay, so this is actually number 1 on the practice problems. But first we'll look at this one. It's not solved for y, so we're going to do an xy chart. So when x is 0, this is a good one to look at because do you see you've got negative y equals 2? So positive y would equal negative 2 because it's like you're dividing by that -1. 2 divided by -1 is -2. And then when y is 0, you cover up y, and so x is just equal to 2. So you have the point 0, -2, and the point 2, 0. And I'm going to try my best to do a nice straight line there. And so there's our graph for that one. Then let's look at the second one. Again, it's not solved for y, so we're going to do our xy chart. When x, so remember these are like ones. So when x is 0, y is 6. There wasn't really anything else to do on that one. And when y equals 0, x is 6. So we have the point 0, 6, and 0, 6. I didn't quite do these long enough. So we've got the point 6 on the y-axis and the point 6 on the x-axis. So we're going to combine those two. And draw our line. Oh, I'm sorry, I was off camera. Draw the line. And so where the two intersect is where your answer is. Whoops, I'm sorry. And I wanted to do another one to show you that sometimes you kind of have to guess to mate. So if you look at here, is it 2 or is it 3? You know, you can guess either one, but I want you to show you how to check it. So I'm going to guess 4. Well, let's write them both. Which one is it? 4-2 or 4-3? Again, if you're on regular graph paper, you won't have this mistake. But if you're not sure, here's how you check. You plug it in. Does 4, so we're using this for my x and this is for my y. Does 4 minus 3 equal 2? No, so it can't be that one. But if this is x and this is y, does 4 minus 2 equal 2? Yes. Does 4 plus 2 equal 6? Yes. So this is your correct answer. So I just wanted to do one that wasn't perfect so you could see that once you get your answer, especially on your test, plug it back in and make sure it works, and then you'll know for sure that you got the right answer. Okay, so you're ready for practice problems on 8.1.